Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome to the video. This time is the Lightning Collection Lord Drakkon. And if you've been reading the Boom comic stuff, you already know who this guy is. There's been videos about him. There's been all sorts of stuff. And if you are missing out on it, I highly recommend you read. Kyle Higgins, Tina Grace, and a bunch of other great artists and writers teamed up to make Power Rangers awesome again and not for nostalgia reasons. So, Lord Drakkon is the evil version of Tommy, the green, white, Zeo, Turbo Ranger, and and Dino Black. But this version of him is truly corrupt and has zero redemption. It's a really cool story arc. So enough about that. Let's get into the actual toy. I'm actually quite surprised that Hasbro did this figure so soon, considering it was right after the most recent run that was at Power Morphicon by Bandai of America. So it's either they really wanted to kind of show that their figure was better, or they wanted to capitalize on the right moment. Either way, I'm more than happy to have this figure. So, the look is absolutely great. It has the better range and articulation from what I'm seeing from the Legacy stuff. I actually never picked up any of the Legacy stuff, so I can't really speak on it from personal experience. But from my dealings with the Lightning Collection, yes, it does have a few drawbacks, but overall, it is what we pretty much more enjoy. So, at least what we wanted out of figures. But not to diss those who liked Legacy, it may have been what they liked as well. But yeah. So my only gripe that I can honestly tell you, from what stems from the Lightning Collection figures in general, is that the also the same thing that Kamen Rider figures stem from. The neck peg isn't long enough so that it doesn't have enough range. So with some putty and maybe just sitting it on top of the ball joint, you get a better neck range that looks better. As you can see, when his neck sits higher, the head actually looks better, gives you a better range of motion as well. And for the most part, that he does not have the Saba attachment on the other side. Now, that doesn't bother me. I just wish they have done that version, because technically this is the proper version of him when he first changes into this. He doesn't do the Saba add-on until later, so we'll get into that. But yeah. But that's my only two gripes about the figure that I can honestly say. It's a Lightning Collection figure. And for 20 bucks that you're going to pay, hopefully that you get it at retail, or the 25, you'll really enjoy this one as well. Now, we have your standard Lightning Collection articulation, which goes, the head can go up, it can go down, left and right. And again, I have it sitting atop the peg, so that's why the neck peg looks a little bigger. They've also done a different job on the chest armor here. So for his shield, it is not the soft plastic we're used to. It's actually a little bit more harder here at the chest part and on the backhand side. These are actually still soft plastic as well, so keep that in mind. You get your standard arm articulation, and I gotta say my joints are super duper tight, and no matter how many times I've heated them up, they still manage to get super tight, which is both a good and a bad thing, because I wanted to be ready for the review. You have your standard articulation, which allows you to go up. There's your butterfly joint going backwards and forwards, and you'll have to bear with me. It is super duper tight, and I do not wish to break it. The arms are double jointed, as you can see here. You get your standard Figma-like peg that you get on Lightning Collection, with the hinges go up and down. You can rotate it as well. His gauntlet arms are going to get in the way of maneuvering these the way you want to. Once you heat them up, though, you should be okay. So keep that in mind. You get your really great ab crunch, which goes forwards, goes backwards. Then you get a lower crunch, which is really, really tight. But as you can see here, him standing up, he can crunch this far forward. So you can have pretty much a really good range. And then going backwards, it's pretty decent as well. You get your Dragon Dagger, but we'll talk about that with accessories. Your leg can go up this far. You can go out this far. There is a boot cut swivel, and there's also a thigh cut swivel. And you can still rotate this as well. Legs are indeed double jointed, and you get your standard really great Hasbro foot articulation, which is also very tight, that has ridiculous amounts of ankle pivot. Now, this guy is actually pretty cool color-wise and story-wise, but if you aren't into or don't know what this guy is, obviously you won't care. Unless you're just a strict Tommy fan, then you'll get what you want. But like all Lightning Collection figures, you know, they suffer from their small down points, but once you get used to grooving with them and playing with them, these guys just look good posed up. They just really look great. And I can't really say that it doesn't, because that would be a lie. Now, he doesn't come with many accessories. He comes with his Dragon Dagger. Voila. You get your standard open hands for holding either the Dragon Dagger or any other weapon that you choose to with him. You get your energy effect, which goes on at the end of the dagger. Whoop. Which you can put at the end of the dagger, which I don't see why the point in that. Because the real point is, if you already have a White Ranger, you add this guy on. Now this actually comes separate, but like I said, in the comics, he gets it later on. So if you want to do that little add-on, this is what it's really for, in case you lost your previous one, right? But most of all, you actually get a very nice unmasked Lord Drakkon head of Tommy. He looks older. As you can see, he's absorbing powers. There are lots of things here going on that I don't want to spoil for people. But this is actually a really nice sculpt that they did for this body. And I think that it was pretty cool of them. So when you do your sitting down throne shots or your bat in the sun shots, you will get a lot of stuff. Actually, like I said, all my joints are really tight. So even the head peg. And mine actually sits on there a lot better. It's just I am scared of popping any of these joints. But it actually looks good on there. It really does. This is going to be a dope figure for those who are fans of the comic. So I'm really excited. By the way, these are soft plastic, so you don't have to worry about breaking them, which is a really, really good thing, trust me, because I stress that kind of stuff all the time. So let's stand him straight up so we can get a nice comparison of what he looks like next to other Rangers, and more importantly, what he looks like with other lines. For those of you that are going to cross over and do all the cool stuff that you like to do. And here's Ginger, my cat, who wants attention. Sorry, Ginger. Now, real quick, I'm going to compare him to other Lightning Collection figures. And then I'm going to compare to other lines. So here he is with Psycho Red. From the 2-pack, here he is with Pink Ranger. And I need the unfreeze HUD joint as well. And as you can see, she is smaller, but not crazy amount of smaller, just smaller in general. Here he is with his Fighting Spirit Green Ranger 2-pack version of himself, which I'm definitely going to have those two fight. Why not, right? Here is the White Ranger version of himself. As you can see, the combination of these two is what you get. So 2 plus 2 is 7 in this case, right? You're like, how did they get this? How does this happen? Read the book. Promise you, read the book. For those of you that want to know about bad guys, outside of Psycho Red, here he is with Goldar. So I'm excited to see what other bad guys we're going to get. Now, what we are going to do is compare him to other lines so we can see how he looks and stacks up with other stuff. For those of you that are awaiting the TMNT Power Rangers team up, here he is with some Lightning Collection so you can see how that is. It took me a while to find my turtles, so sorry about that. Here he is with an SH Figure Arts Kamen Rider Kuga, in case he decides to invade the world of Kuga. Voila. There go those two guys. Here he is with a Marvel Legends size Spider-Man, and this one is a custom by Meerkat Figures, in case anyone is going to ask where this Spider-Man is from. Again, it is a custom by Meerkat Figures, so that's that. That's what it looks like next to a Spider-Man. Here we are next to a with an Articulated Icons Ninja by the Foosh guys. So Ninjas and Drakkon actually mix pretty well as as Spider-Man, right? Next up, we have Mythic Legions. Red Orc. Love to display this guy. And then we're going to do a Mezco size me on a Diabolic body, in case anyone's asking. This suit is by CJ, for those of you wondering. It is the Ninja Suit 2.0. Voila. All in all, I've really enjoyed this figure. Plan on taking some really dope pictures, sorry, not figures. Plan on taking some really dope pictures. But with that being said, also, it's one of those things you got to be careful with the joints. They come in really tight on the Lightning Collection stuff. And just be a note, a little side note, that coming in these winter months, this is what's going to happen with a lot of figures because it's really cold outside. So I highly suggest, if you're not going to constantly be playing with your figures, you constantly heat up those joints before you get to playing with them. And just keep that in mind. In the meantime, guys, I hope you found it informative. I hope you enjoyed. And as always, I hope you do good, be good, drink your water, guys. Later.